Welcome back to Minus 16, the podcast where we talk about tech, and there's lots to talk about, and also, of course, the juicy and spicy business of YouTube and what goes on behind the scenes. Now, just a word up from the get-go, we are going to keep this, words I never thought I'd be saying to two chaps, tight and fast, but we are going to be in and out really quickly with this one. We've got lots on, but we didn't want to not record this week because there's a lot to talk about. So, we've got Daniel in the outbacks of Australia, just about putting enough coins in the meter to get a connection to us.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here.
And Alex, deep in the Cotswolds.
Yes, hello.
Raining, I dare say, as it is here with me as well. I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretty horrible for the last week, yeah.
So, since we last spoke, Alex and I have been out and got our iPhones. It's happened. It has happened.
Yeah, has happened.
Now, actually, I don't know if you boys caught up with any of my shorts and my stories. I'm going to keep this brief, but last Friday to me turned into one of those. I'm going to go through this as rapidly as possible. I built this relationship with Apple Business. They said, order through us. Fine. So The day after the event, I did a pre-save on apple.com. That afternoon, phone Apple Business, said, yeah, we got it. It's fine. Cancel the order. Mistake number one. Should have left that banker. Okay, so then it got to later in the week and hadn't had a confirmation through. I said, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's definitely here. Fine. Saturday, I was in editing our podcast. The order confirmation popped up. And I thought, brilliant. Fine. It's done. Then late that afternoon, I just casually clicked on the track your order, October the 15th. That was on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, so I couldn't talk to anybody. Then I decided I'd phone Apple Retail on the Sunday. No Pro Maxes anywhere. Rolls on to Monday. Don't worry, it's fine. That's just a spurious date they put up. It will roll forward. That's how it was left until Thursday. Thursday, it was still saying October the 15th. It will definitely happen overnight. But here's the plan B. There's always walk-in inventory. Get to Battersea for 8 o'clock on Friday morning. There'll be walk-in inventory. We'll put something to one side for you. So I got up at 5:15, drove into London, parked, went to Battersea. Nah, we haven't got anything. Sorry. Shit. Okay, fine. So at that point, I'm trying to keep this really quick. I bought a Pro because it's all they had, and I had to do the thing for the sponsor that night. So except all the cases were for the Pro Maxes, but I thought, if that's what it is, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So bought the Pro, and then she said, I've just heard there might be something at Covent Garden, where you and I went, Daniel. So Tube, Vauxhall, over to Covent Garden, ran over to Covent Garden, and in the queue, they just said, no, why do you think we've got any Pro Maxes? back to Battersea. And I was just going to go down the escalator to the car, and I thought, I'm here now. I might as well try. I walked in. The queue is big. I said to security, can I just go in and see this woman? I thought she'd be on lunch. Didn't know if I'd have any luck. Walked in, saw her. She looked over at me. She was finishing with the client, said, any luck? And I said, nothing. And I said, look, I'm here. Is it worth you just checking? She picked up her PDA, her iPad, and looked at it. I looked to stay there. And she just ran off and came back with the actual phone that I wanted. The only downside of that was that I'd already paid £1,000 early on for the Pro. That takes 4 days to get the refund back into your account. So I had to magic up another £1,200 to buy that phone.
Jesus.
It was a day. And then after that, you'll know what it's like. You're uptight as hell, and you have to come back and just sit in front of the camera. Right, this is what we're going to talk about. It's like, Jesus.
But let's face it, right? The viewers don't care about all that. They just want a review, right?
Yeah.
So they don't know sometimes what we go through to get this stuff. And
was your experience straightforward?
Nope.
What happened with you then?
I was so excited about the iPhone, I forgot the order day or the time.
Yep.
So I was happily editing that Friday after our podcast. And 2 hours later, when I opened Twitter, it was like, oh my God, iPhone's order screenshots everywhere.
Yeah.
I went in and obviously nothing until October. So I just ordered the Pro.
Yeah.
And I tried to get, when I got to the shop, same thing, tried to get the Pro Max while I was there. Nah. So people didn't watch my video. They actually bought the phone. Even though I said, don't buy it.
It was quite a day. And what I don't understand is, everything we're being told, they're saying this is a really bad year for sales. And yet for love nor money, you cannot get a Pro Max. And generally the Pro Maxes, because nobody really wants the biggest phones, are easier to get. And yet...
Could be a psychology thing, right? Maybe they're doing that thing where make it scarce so people...
100% what they do. They do that every launch.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That's definitely a strategy. Because it's impossible for them to sell that much that quickly and then to immediately go on back order. Like the mornings in Australia of pre-order for iPhones, I remember back to like the iPhone 8 launch, and like immediately everything was on back order. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
For like the same phone as last year? It's just on back order straight away, October, November, and it's like, it is though, to create that, oh man, what can I get now? Like just create this intense demand so people will just be willing to just throw money at it.
Scarcity effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very well-known tactic. But
Well, it's clearly kind of worked, isn't it? Because it's got people gagging for the Pro Maxes this year. Are you going to swap yours out for the Pro Max? Are you going to stick with the Pro?
only so I can do a couple of reviews.
Yeah.
I'll end up with a Pro. Yeah.
I mean, I was convinced this week because I came back last Friday and cancelled the order with Apple Business, and I was still convinced it was going to turn up this week. I was absolutely convinced I was going to be charged for a third phone, but luckily. So, phone-wise, what are your first thoughts? Sorry, Daniel. I know it's another second Apple.
No, please carry on.
What have you made of it, Alex?
It's more positive than negative for me. It's hard to kind of ignore all the good stuff that's out there, right? But when you look at the iPhone on its own merit, without comparing it to anything, it's a better iPhone, right? Yes, that camera control thing could have been put in a better place, but I'm always kind of trying to put myself in the shoes of someone who has been holding it for the last 3 years. Maybe he's got an iPhone 11, 12, kind of holding on for dear life in the battery, and it's an upgrade time for them. This would be an awesome upgrade. For us, it's not, because we've seen 14, the 15, and it's kind of like, come on, how long are we going to milk this design and milk this form factor? I honestly, don't know why they keep putting things like they put the dynamic island on the 14 and then the action button on the 15. And they're kind of running out of ideas to make it slightly different with the control button or whatever. I think maybe reduce some of those things, right? Because we know it's an Apple phone. There's no way you're going to mistake this phone with something else. Get rid of the dynamic island. As far as I'm concerned, that those features can be done via UI without the hole on the display. Give us the display that we paid for.
Full screen.
Yeah, and fine with the button. I think it's just a minor adjustment. I would definitely say, because the argument I'm hearing back when I say this is in the wrong place is that people say when you hold the phone like this, is in the right place. But it's like, have you tried to use that thing with a thumb? It's like, it's a nightmare. Even with your with the finger here, like, it's just not a natural thing, and you have to adjust. You have to either put your hand behind the phone, making it unbalanced, or in front of the screen so you can't see what you're doing. There are kind of workarounds that you can do with cases and things like that to have a better support there, or just buy a longer finger, like a finger extension.
So one of the problems I found, I mentioned in the video I put up yesterday, was that as soon as you put a cage on it, you can't use it. And I mean, they actually showed it in the event with the audio mix feature on a cage, and I highlighted on my video, look, it's covered.
How are you going to reach that button?
Yeah, it's covered. And another flaw that I found, that audio mix feature, which I went back on myself. I'm sure it's already on Samsung's, right, where you can clean up the audio on.
No, it's on really? Pixels though.
Oh, but Pixels, yeah, I know. I thought it'd definitely be on the Samsungs. It does work. It's a little bit sibilant and it's a little bit crispy because it's doing all that noise reduction. It's clearly compressing it. It's okay, but I found this week you can only use it if you record natively into the camera app. I tried using Final Cut Camera onto an SD, put it into the photos. No, that wouldn't work. There
are definitely a couple of things that I picked up as well. So it works really well, and it will avoid a lot of people buying microphones. But for anyone who's trying to do professionally, it's going to be, may as well use a mic. But I think it's awesome what it's doing in device. And I think, that it gives you a couple of different profiles there. But what they should do, like any audio feature, and I think the Pixel does it, is give you a slider of how much to apply. Because like you're saying, you will get a little bit sibilant. Sometimes you'll process too much and you'll sound like you're inside a bottle or something. But I like where it's going. So hopefully, updates will come and will make that a little bit tighter. But I do like it does remove like traffic noises. It actually works really, really well.
Yeah, I used it. I didn't end up posting, but I recorded something when I was out last week. Funny enough, the BMW PGA Golf Championships on like 2 miles from where I live. So I spent Sunday afternoon there shooting so much. And I recorded something and it got rid of so much noise in the background. It was just amazing. And it was a great way to begin testing the 120 because I was obviously really close to the golfers, so I could do the 4K 120, which I know is on your phones. And I know that's old news for you. And I paused as well, just because I could pause. I paused.
And 8K as well. Don't forget 8K.
8K, exactly. Yeah, it's all the way 8K. So yeah, I've had a reasonably good chance to use it now. I'm running the betas on it for the first time ever. I've never been a beta boy, but I thought, well, this year I might as well. Public betas, I'm fairly certainly going to be okay. I'm finding the standby battery is not as good as I initially thought. That could be because I'm running betas, in all honesty.
There was something I saw
Friday when I came
about the betas on Twitter, where people are doing the screen mirroring, where they can drag and drop files from the iPhone screen. And I laughed at the 2 pages that did it were like Mac Rumors and like 9 to 5 Mac. And I guarantee you they are pages that whenever they saw Samsung or like Samsung Flow or Samsung Dex or a similar feature that's existed doing that, I think side sync back in 2015, they would have been like, why do we want that? What do we need that for? And now they're just sitting there lapping it up going,
Amazing.
What a feature, what an amazing, oh my goodness. And I just have to laugh because they're just so unaware of their own self. I'm like, come on.
It's the only feature of Sequoia that's actually noticeable. There's nothing else on Sequoia. But that iPhone mirroring.
Every year I hear about the how we don't need split screen, right? So why would you want split screen? It's like, okay, one day Apple will do it, and like they just did. Yeah, it'll be the best thing since sliced bread. It'll be so innovative.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, the Sequoia, I can't see anything particularly new there. I know you've got some more privacy settings in Safari and things. Yeah, but there's very little new on it apart from that iPhone mirroring, which is good. I don't know if it does, again, hit the battery more. It cuts out after 10 minutes or so and you have to resume it. I mean, but that functionality of it is
that's odd.
Really good. I mean, you can absolutely... Yeah, I wondered if there was settings, but I went in there. It doesn't stay live on the screen. I don't know. Have you put Sequoia on, Daniel?
No, and I'm not doing it. Mine is still on M1 Max, MacBook Pro. If history is to... I learned a lot by not doing that. I know exactly what will happen. If I put Sequoia on this machine, I'll have to upgrade to the M4 because it will just slow everything down and make it impossible for me to work. So it's working beautifully as it is. So on Sonoma, so I'm going to leave
Why
it.
not? Yeah, why not mess? And I did buy the AirPods 4 with ANC, and I have bought AirPods Max. I found somebody to buy my old ones. Well, because I found somebody to buy those. So that
for the views. For the views.
For the views, I bought orange as well. So it's pretty gross. I haven't unboxed them yet, but I'm thinking that I'm just going to do both of those in one video because there's not a great deal to say.
I thought about it, making those videos, and I don't know. I have to buy the Apple Watch, but I'm almost tempted. I'm very tempted to just spray my current one black and try that's the new one. Or make a thing of it, right? It's like I refuse to buy it, so I just sprayed it black.
I am tempted because I've still got an Apple Watch 8, and I saw it at store last week, and I am tempted, but I'm trying to fight.
The Watch 10 looks good. Yeah, like I said, I have to do it for a review in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so I might buy and return, and I'll probably say that in the video. So like I have no use for it, but it does look good.
And there's rumours of another October event for Apple as well, with Mac Minis coming out. So maybe the party season isn't over quite yet. And you said, just before we got going, I think you boys said there was a release. Well, I know, Daniel, you had it on embargo a couple of weeks back, but there's been a tablet release today.
Tablet and a phone.
Days ago.
This morning.
Which phone? Which phone?
The S24FE and the Tab S10 Plus and the Tab S10 Ultra.
So what's the FE? I've not heard that designation before.
The fan edition. Fun story. Samsung made a phone a few years ago called the S20 FE, and they only developed it because there was this gap in the market. So they're like, we need something to fill the gap. They made the FE super quick, and it became like their most popular phone of the year. And they've since just continued with the FE fan edition model, and we have the new one now.
So is it lower price point, or is it? It's not like an SE kind of thing.
It's like their idea of an SE, but it's better. Like it's still got more value. It's still got the same triple camera setup pretty much as the S24. It's got a massive 6.7-inch screen with like minimal bezels. It's not like an old design that they've just rebadged with internals. It's it's just a phone that sort of sits on its own. That's got the S series branding to kind of, I guess, draw people in at the lower end of the market using the S's branding and brand recognition is what I'm looking for.
And it is a slightly lower price point, is what you're saying?
Yeah. It's like, I can't remember exactly, but it's under the price of the base model S24. Let's put it that way.
Right. Yeah. And then the tablet, is it S10?
Tab S10 Ultra and the Tab S10 Plus.
That was a sigh.
Strange.
Yeah. I know why he's sighing, because I've seen
I
it.
just don't get why it's out now. Previously, they've done the tablets on an 18-month refresh cycle, and this is now like 13 months because it came out with the Fold last year, the Tab S9 Ultra. And they've not changed much. They've put the anti-reflective coating, which is pretty good, by the way, and they've got a new chip, but it's not a Qualcomm chip, it's a MediaTek chip. So it's like they just, I don't know. When I asked Samsung about it yesterday in my briefing or the other day before, they said that there was a demand for high-end flagship tablets with AI. That's what they're seeing. So my guess is they saw that there was the demand and thought, well, we need a tablet for the end of the year. And Qualcomm, potentially their prices were too high for the 8 Gen 3. It was too early for the 8 Gen 4 or the 8 Elite that they're calling it now. And they settled and worked with MediaTek to bring it with the Tab S10 Ultra. I don't know.
I think that makes sense.
It's a nice tablet, good upgrade, but yeah, odd time of year to launch it.
Odd time, very disorganized in a way as well, because unlike Samsung, usually they're quite coordinated. I mean, it's been posts already, videos already about it, and some markets like the UK, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't touched it. Yeah. So I think there's a good point on the AI stuff there, because I was thinking about it on the iPhone. It's like, sometimes you just got to be first, right? And it might not be 100% ready, but you got to take your hats off to Samsung sometimes, because they just released, in January this year, lots of AI features. They're now on a second, maybe third iteration of Galaxy AI, and it's, they're pumping out features and functionality that is actually making you more efficient with your device. I just don't understand Apple in that way, because it's not like they haven't seen it coming, right? They've been talking about AI for a long time. Yeah, I think the tablet, yes, is annoying. Yes, it's the S9 Ultra, which I've got here on my desk constantly, didn't need I was quite happy with my S8 Ultra, right? There's really very minor updates there. It's awesome, but yeah, I don't know. I'll enjoy the anti-reflective disc. Is it the same display as the S24 Ultra, Daniel, or is it similar?
It's the same Gorilla Glass as last year's Tab S9 Ultra. They've just updated their anti-reflectivity coating, so it's not the Gorilla Glass
so it's
Armor, but it is the same in terms of its anti-reflectivity level. And like, I put a photo up on Twitter side by side with the Tab S9 Ultra, and it's crazy the difference. But I noticed the difference more
S9 is
just
very
using it.
reflective.
Yeah, very like whereas I can't see a thing internally into the Tab S10 Ultra. It's like, for the month I've had it, I'm like, it's so much better to look at, contrast, deeper blacks, and I think it's just because it's not bouncing light from the room around me on it.
Yeah, we're taking it for granted. I did an S24 Ultra versus 16 Pro, which it's like, I don't have the Pro Max yet. But yeah, that one aspect of the reflectiveness is such a, I kind of forget how good it is. But yeah, when you put it side by side with the iPhone and go, wow, yeah, Samsung, that should to me be the standard going forward for smartphone displays. It's so good.
What's the kind of uptake on the tablet? Is it a good seller for Samsung?
It's their biggest tablet mover is like the Tab A series, which is the lower end tablet. A lot of that's down to carrier deals. Like, carriers will give the Tab A away alongside a phone. Or it's an older generation purchasing a tablet just to read the books or newspapers, or like tablets for their kids. That's really where Samsung's tablet sales come from. the higher end flagship tablet does okay, but it's nowhere near the numbers of the lower end. I mean, it's the same with the phones. Their phones, the A series and lower, is their movers, and then they just top themselves up with flagship. Tablet is kind of the same.
You were talking about I know back at the beginning of the year, the anti-reflective glass on the S24s. I remember you both talking about how good that was. The immediate gripe I've had about the iPhone, as ever, the ceramic shield glass in front, I've already got my first scratch within a week. No. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just a micro scratch, but they can't seem to get the balance right. I know they've got to strike that line between it not being too fragile and so hard that it doesn't scratch, and then if you drop it, it's not. I get there's a fine line, but the Google and Samsung seem to get, when I had the Pixel 8 last year, that didn't get a scratch in it for love nor money. It was absolutely rock solid.
Yeah, but ceramic shield sounds so good on a marketing page. Like, it just sounds crispy. Like, oh, ceramic shield. Like,
it's crispy.
That looks good. It's got all the right consonants and sounds. Like,
nobody can beat their marketing department is second to none.
Like, not calling it a button. Camera control.
Exactly. It's not a button. No. It's control. You just get back in line, honestly. You're not a user. You're not one of the devout Apple boys. It's a control, okay? We've got full control of our depth of field, our photographic styles, our tone maps. Just leave us alone.
Just not image stabilization because you press the button and it shakes the whole phone.
Yeah, and also on the main camera, of course, you've got the 24, 28, 35. You can't get into those through it either. You can pick the camera. You can pick if you want to be 5.5, 1, 2, 5, but you can't pick the extra lenses, the extra focal. So, it's got its flaws. I came up with this... I came up with this phrase and said it's an over-engineered solution for a problem that was never there. And I think there's 5 ways now that we can get into the camera. And finally, because we can now rearrange the lock screen, the icons, where it's always been the torch and the camera. Yeah, I know. So finally we can do that. So, I've changed that out now to be the mute button, which means the action button finally is useful. Can have that for the camera. So I've got the action button for the camera. I've got the camera control button for the camera. I can swipe right for the camera. I could put the icon back on the home screen and get into that. Or I could just open the phone up and get into camera. Do we need another way to get into the camera app, really? Yep, there you go. Every time. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to come to... I think it could end up being okay, but my take is they kind of rushed it out to put something on the phone so that people would buy it saying there's something new. It's half-baked. And the one feature that we all want is the focus, which isn't there yet, so...
Yes, yeah. It's like... a lot of people are having a go at me because I said that, it was in the wrong spot. And they're saying, well, if it's too close to the corner, you'll accidentally touch it. It's like, no. I mean, the Sony Xperia 1 Mark VI has an actual button and it's actually very protruded. It's literally where your finger rests. I'll never accidentally press it. You have to be, intentionally pressing it to go. So I don't buy that. I think it's just in the wrong spot. They rushed it, I think.
Do you wirelessly charge your iPhone?
Sometimes, yeah.
When it's on the charger, as soon as you go to pick it up, your hand goes to pick it up exactly where the control button is, and it just launches the camera.
Oh yeah,
every time. It's in exactly that spot where your hand reaches.
Imagine how many accidental screenshots and photos. I mean, in the
back
cloud,
of my desk has had so many photos this week you wouldn't believe.
It's all filling up your iCloud storage.
See, I hear that. And it just makes me think everyone's saying that, Apple's got the user experience and it's so intuitive and it's so as you use your phone, and then they don't account for things like that. And then they'll probably make a statement saying, oh, you're taking it off the charger wrong. That's your fault.
You're holding it wrong.
100% not our fault for putting it where everyone's hand goes. It's your fault for putting your hand there. Anyway.
I mean, I do like to have that. I mean, it's such a nice thing to have, but the one feature, like I said, the half rest to focus. It's like,
software update. Yep, buying on promises again. So as we're slightly up against time this week, chaps, a minute ago, Daniel, you mentioned Twitter.
I did.
Right.
I've had a spicy.
Time for me to sit back now. You can talk about Twitter. Off you go. Your mate Quinn.
So I don't know. I think this beef sort of started back when the Fold launched. He posted something so obviously rage baiting people into something about Samsung, and I just made a comment, and it probably was a bit of a dumb one, but spot the Apple fan engagement baiting. That's all I said, and it got a bit of attention. I don't think he was too pleased by it. He kind of clapped back at me, and anyway, since then, every time I post something, he's in there, and I've muted him. So if he's listening, which he probably isn't, I've muted you. So but then I'll see it. Someone has you've muted this person. I'm like, oh, interesting. Who is it? And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have unmuted it. And then I wrote that tweet about Marques. And the thing was, the tweet was actually, in a way, defending his content, because at this time of year,
it was, yeah,
all he does is publish, like, he smashes the iPhone Apple stuff. It's just Apple, 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 Apple. Like an unboxing video, he hasn't done an unboxing video in freaking years. Yet, for an iPhone, he will. And I think there's a lot of people that stand there and will say, oh, he's biased towards Apple. And I'm like, well, he is, but not for the way that you think so. He's biased towards Apple because that is what supports and drives his business. And as a business owner now myself, someone who's working on YouTube myself, I completely understand that. And the whole premise of my tweet was that I completely understand why he does what he does for his channel.
Yeah, I thought you were quite measured and balanced and Russian. Yeah.
And the tweet in my space went semi-viral, I guess you could say. It broke through my followers and out into the world of cesspit Twitter. And just simple comment from Quinn is, perhaps you should stop micro-analyzing your content and start focusing on your own. And I thought, have you read the same message that I've wrote? Like, I'm not having a go at him at all. And micro-analyzing, you could just have to look at his homepage. You don't have to micro-analyze it. You literally just look at it and you'll understand it immediately. So I haven't micro-analyzed anything.
For the sake of anyone checking, I did call you an engagement farmer, but that was a coordinated. That was a coordinated.
Yes. We planned that in our chat.
I did tell you I was going to do that.
Yeah. Absolutely no problem with that. And everyone then was saying, oh, he's just using Marques for clout. He's engagement baiting. He's rage baiting. And for those, you guys know me, like that's not my thing. It's not worth my time to get that level of sort of hate. I'm interested in the discourse.
There's
and the
no return on that. Yeah.
No return for me whatsoever. I'm interested in what people have to say in a genuine conversational way. And unfortunately, you just can't do that on Twitter. So anyway, push comes to shove. Quinn piles on. People come on and support with him, and just end of the day, like it just further extends what he did before, which was you're the only one who cares about Samsung. I think that was in response to my tweet about Techtember. He goes, that's because you're the only one who cares about Samsung. And then when I hit 50,000, I put a screenshot of his tweet next to 50,000 and said, if I'd listened to Quinn, I wouldn't be where I am today. And to his credit, he said congratulations in the sub tweets underneath it. But then Marques does his thing with the Panels app, and talk about missteps. Talk about not like listening to your own advice from years and years of reviewing products.
Especially recent one,
right? Quinn goes underneath and starts sort of, at first he's like a bit nicey, but then he like goes at him about the permissions and says, with all due respect, these permissions are like, I'm paraphrasing, aren't great. You need to seriously look at them. And then I just had a cheeky little, I copied what he wrote to me and pasted it straight underneath I was like, perhaps you should stop micro-analyzing other people's content and focus on your own. And I thought that's the perfect way to sort of tie this thing up with a bow.
Tie it off, yeah.
I think because he said, he just wrote, okay. And then I think he was just like, I'm tired of this. But yeah, like,
Probably like of course.
It's too easy on Twitter to have and misunderstand and misconstrue people's intentions of things. And you can just like, especially with creators of his size, like I watched his content for like years before, like when he switched to the Z Flip, I was like all in on that sort of stuff. So like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said spot the Apple fan engagement baiting, but he was like what he said.
It's very easy to start beef. So some people out there looking for that stuff as well.
That's what they're looking to do,
I try to keep it. silly on Twitter, not take it
Yeah.
too seriously. But yeah, it can be annoying.
Also, you must know it's very cliquey as well. The American boys and Canadian boys will very much stick together, and you cannot touch them. You cannot say a thing about them. And anyone from outside of that group, it seems to me, is just going to be shat on from quite a large height. That's how it seems to me, at least looking on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the
I think
Marques thing, I
it's,
mean, obviously he's
yeah.
in a bit of hot waters now, right? Because of the
Yeah.
panels.
So yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think it's my take on it. We haven't discussed this. I think he's kind of read the market a bit wrong. He's made a brilliant name for himself by being honest and making good reviews and staying in lane of what we know him for. Suddenly, to charge $12 a month for a wallpaper app is almost going to the well once too often. You've got 20 million follows nigh on. Do you need to be charging? You're making good revenue, and we're all in this to make some money. That's fine. I have not got a problem with capitalist ventures in the slightest. But isn't it time just to give back a tiny bit?
Yeah, I haven't downloaded the app or looked at it. I've seen the tweets, and obviously the WhatsApp groups. All the conversations are about that in the last few days. So my initial reaction was, like you just said, right? We're not here. It's capitalizing on what he's built. Fair enough. I'd love to be in a position where I've got a product of my own to sell. It'd be amazing. But I think because of the way it was launched and the way it seems to be, I mean, my second reaction was, well, maybe it's just Twitter, right? Maybe what we're seeing is just people on Twitter, and that doesn't represent his target audience for this app. And people are like, no, you should read the comments on the video, on the iPhone video, because he started, and then I watched the video. It's like,
Yeah.
he
It's
opened
just a marketing
the
for
iPhone
him, yeah.
review with his review. So it's like, okay, again, I'd be proud as well, and I'll probably do the same. But it is, his audience are on the comments. Every single comment is about how extortionate and just out of touch that is. So,
As you said, sorry, Danny, yeah.
Also, I think it comes out of his history of how he reviews products. Like, he reviews it with a real, I guess he tries to channel the consumer as best he can. Not all the time, like, because a lot of the times we see his reviews where he's just used it in the studio for 2 weeks and done the review and said goodbye to the phone. But I also still think he does apply a bit of practicality, a bit of common sense. And I just feel like had he done that for his own product, he probably wouldn't have released it in this way he's done it. Like, it's not hit the metrics of what he normally would be reviewing. Like people dig up his old tweets. Like, it's never good to charge people something they've inherently had for free. And like, wallpapers are like one of the most free resources available. And here he is charging you $12 a month for an orange to unlock a HD version of an orange wallpaper. And it's not that I have a problem with the price.
Largely AI generated as well, right?
Yeah.
Problem. Like, I have no problem with the price. I think had he not been a reviewer, people probably wouldn't even bat an eyelid. They'd be like, okay, some famous person got an app. It's a bit high on the nose with the price, but whatever. But the fact that he's reviewed products, he's slammed products, he's given products bad value, he's tanked products and companies off the back of his word. For him to then
and the privacy as well, right? And
the privacy is a big thing. The tracking that was going on.
Well,
I mean, he almost put out a fairly meek apology later that day, didn't he? I think was it Tuesday it broke or something, and later that day it was like, "Thanks, guys. The feedback's really important. That's how we help improve things." No, you were trying to get away with it, and people came down very hard against you.
The thing is, and that's the nature of the industry as well, right? Because a day later, or maybe 2 days, someone did a 20-minute review of his thing, selling their own. I won't mention the channel, but because I haven't seen that, so I haven't formed my opinion yet. But it's like, okay, just on the face of it, it's like someone made a 20-minute long video about a wallpaper app. First, probably dissing Marques's, but then selling his own. It's like, oh my god, yeah. So
I think the pylon has been a bit much. Like, I think he's allowed to have made a mistake. Like, at the end of the day, it's not as if he's, drawing blood from children and selling it on the black market or like selling organs. He's tried to make an app you have the choice whether you buy it or not. You absolutely can decide not to get it. That's completely fine. I think the reviews are justified of where it's at, but don't attack the person. Because at the end of the day, I still think he's just probably either taken advice from a company that he's maybe collaborated with, and he's like, you guys are the experts. Perhaps I'll follow your advice. And then they've maybe led him astray. And maybe against his own better instinct. No one knows the inner workings of how it came about. But the optics aren't good. I think I've said that word before, optics. The optics are not good for how it's all sort of played out.
There is one aspect of it that we're not privy to, right? Maybe he will share this, but there's a world where there's all this noise, but he only represents maybe 5% of the income. That 95% of the people out there are buying the product, not give a shit about what the comments are saying, and he's happy. You know, his bank account is very fat and healthy. So I think, yeah, it definitely didn't look good. But you know, maybe he's done all right in the business on the business side. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, again, to your point, Daniel, about maybe being led astray. My take would be must be one of the most experienced people in this business out there, and has been through the ropes 1,000 times on every deal, and probably when he was younger got caught so many times. But now he strikes me as a very, very shrewd, intelligent businessman. I've got so much respect for him. It's upset me a little bit. I don't know if that's the right word. It's just been an odd week for some. I really enjoy sitting and watching his videos, be them on Apple or headphones or Samsung's when he occasionally does them. And the other thing is he's a Samsung S24 user, isn't he? That's his daily.
His main phone for most of this year. I think he may be using the Pixel 9 at the moment, 9 Pro. But yeah, it's been.
Because I know when he was at Apple Park, he got out his S24 to read his notes to whoever was in, and they said no, you can't use S24 Ultra.
No, that was Mr. Who's the Boss. I'm pretty sure had done that. I just looked at the panels.
That was Marques
as well.
Oh, he did that too,
as well.
did he?
Marques was interviewing Tim Cook, and someone at the last minute said to him, "Can you not have that on display?"
In frame, yeah.
Wow, man, that's brutal. I just looked up at the 1.7, his app rating for panels on the Play Store. 1.7.
Does he say how many downloads or no? I mean, that doesn't mean people paid for it either, right?
No, it's got 2,700 ratings, but I can't see. It doesn't show how many downloads. Anyway, yeah, it's
that's
50,000 plus downloads, so not a lot, to be honest.
And well, no, it's. I wondered what the uptake would be. And again, this is, I think we're just having a good conversation the way we do here on this pod. And this isn't meant to be coming down hard against him. I think we all got huge respect for him. I just feel that he's slightly disinterested at the moment. He's got other passions, other things he wants to be doing. He's made he's at a point where he could sell that off to a studio now, his channel. I mean, it's huge.
He's got a Ridge as well, right? A Ridge wallet. Yeah,
exactly that. Yeah, he's got deals left, right, and centre. And I just, there was the World Frisbee things he went off to Australia for. And if he's got other passions, that's fine. You've built a business, go and enjoy it. But I would just say, don't expect everybody to continue following you as passionately as they have done. If your heart, he said at the beginning of the year, I saw him say, I'm going to be doing less reviews this year because I want to follow the Frisbee thing through. Fine. But, we work hard week after week after week trying to build a community and a passion with art. If we were to suddenly say, you know what, actually, I'm just going to go and watch the cricket for a bit. I'll see you in a month or so. It just wouldn't wash, is my kind of take on it. I still think he's the best out there, or one of the best out there. But maybe he's just ridden that crest now.
Yeah, and fair play, right? He's done his stint.
Yeah, and we mentioned Twitter and views and subs. 50,000, my man. Yep. 50,000 big ones over there. The subs, boy.
We'll edit this in. We'll put some confetti in.
Yeah,
it's a good mark, eh? Feels good.
Feels great. It's something that when I started, you never imagine you're going to hit 50,000, let alone even make it a career. Like, I had no ambition of that. I was just wanting to get my Samsung knowledge out into the world to feel creative. And the thing is, this month has been phenomenal. September's been crazy. My video this morning of the S24FE is already at 25,000 views after 19 hours, which is a record for me. I've never had a video go over 20,000 views in a day before. And
amazing.
It's not even in 24 hours yet. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty high at the moment. Obviously, you've got to learn not to get too high because there's invariably going to be months where it's not going to be like this. But I hope not. I hope I can keep this going. Like me and Sam Mobile,
yeah.
both channels are doing well this last sort of 6 weeks. So I just really need to find. I think I know now the formula that works, and I just need to make sure I kind of stay on that path. It's like what I said about Marques. Like once you find what your audience is most interested in, you need to kind of take advantage of that space because
niching.
It's a you never know. Like Samsung could walk away from smartphones next year. Like imagine if they just said we're going to move out of the smartphone game. I'm like, well, shit. So I think it's a matter of while you're here taking advantage of the wave and seeing where it takes you.
I actually made a reference of you in the video I put up yesterday because part of what I was saying was it seems that iPhone users are really ready to come down on being an iPhone. The people that are actually buying them almost hate what they're buying and are really. And I was saying, look at that as composed, and that's why I referenced it. If you look at Daniel and his videos, he only makes Samsung videos. He's so passionate about Samsung. He loves using them. He loves talking about them. Why can't we kind of enjoy what we've got? You know, I was making that. There's a definite contradiction between how iPhone users often see their phones and Samsung. I don't know.
I think it's because it's boredom. Yeah, it's what it is. It's been the same for quite some time, right? And there's not a lot of new things. Yeah, because
the grass is always greener on the other side.
There's that too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there will be the opposite of people who've been Android users for a long time and get the iPhone and go, "Wow, this is amazing." But yeah, I saw a sketch of someone, kind of pretending that they're giving them a new phone. They basically just clean their phone, put it in a case, and give it back to them. Oh, this is the iPhone 16, and people just go, "Oh wow, this is amazing! The pictures look so much better." It's like is your actual same phone.
We just clean the screen, buddy.
It's crazy, yeah. But in a way, it's true.
So I've got to get on my toes. I've got a meeting I've got to get to, which is part of the reason. I know we've all been a bit slammed this week. I think we've kind of covered everything we set out to. It's been a little bit shorter than normal. But
thanks for all the subs, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, again, there's another great episode last time. It's amazing. It really is beginning to get a little bit of traction now. And I mean, thank you for listening to us, watching us, whatever you're doing. It's just, so rewarding that we know we're a little voice that's getting bigger. But I know people really enjoy our honesty. The fact it's not scripted, not preempted. And that is true, isn't it? We spend 2 minutes before we hit record.
30
what should we
seconds
cover? What order should we cover it in? We have got a Google Doc now. We never look at it. But, that's about as advanced as we've got.
It feels
three guys trying to run businesses. Yeah, exactly. So it is that honesty, and I think people really enjoy that behind the scenes. We talk about YouTube and what it's like, and and we'll be back to that next time in a couple of weeks. So, anyway, boys, I'm glad your signal managed to hold up out in the outback there.
Yeah,
enjoy the wedding tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff.
Cheers, fellas. Bye.
And we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks, everybody.